Hey everyone, and welcome to Crypto Explained. My name's Max. This video today is going to be all about Dash, the Dash token and the Dash network. It's part of my What Is series where I'm diving into specific crypto projects and talking about how they actually work, who's behind them, their real world applications, and then just the overall future I see for the next couple years for the project. So if you're interested in that kind of content, but maybe for a different crypto project, definitely head over to my channel. I've got plenty of these uploaded, plenty more on the way. But for now, let's hone in on Dash. This definitely seems to be a very polarizing project. I've heard extremes on both sides. I've heard that it's completely useless and completely worthless. I've heard that it's the best example of what Bitcoin was originally trying to create, the absolute best example of an open source blockchain. So I've heard both. I think I'm somewhere in the middle. I don't think that I don't think I would subscribe to either of those points of view. But I do think it is a very interesting project and definitely worth looking into. So let's do that. It's a project where I know we talked about Zcash and Monero and a couple other projects that really tried to emulate what Bitcoin was doing. I think Dash is exactly that. They're trying to emulate Bitcoin, but make it more secure, make it more scalable, and make it easier to transact and faster to transact. So those are definitely their goals with this project. And it's pretty interesting because I know we talked about Litecoin as well, which is a direct source code fork from Bitcoin. And very similar. I mean, if you talk about the infrastructure between Litecoin and Bitcoin, very similar infrastructures. There's really only a few differences. Obviously the circulation supply, and then Litecoin's a little bit faster, details like that. But for the most part, they pretty much created the same network. So Dash is actually a fork into Litecoin. So that's pretty interesting. They forked from Litecoin. And I think that they're trying to kind of pick up where Litecoin left off. And Litecoin always saw itself as Bitcoin Lite. They always saw themselves as kind of the digital silver to Bitcoin's digital gold. But I think Dash has bigger plans in mind. I think Dash thinks of itself as the best example of an open source blockchain and exactly what whoever Satoshi Nakamoto is, what they were originally trying to create. So let's talk a little bit about how they achieve that. So this is a very secure system. There's no doubt about it. Very secure coin. It's definitely scalable, and it's definitely pretty fast. It's definitely faster than Bitcoin. So their max supply for the circulation is going to be somewhere around 18,900,000. So a little bit less than Bitcoin's 21 million. So there's definitely some scarcity. The fixed value is great. And it's definitely decentralized. All of those things you look for when you're looking for this kind of project and whether it's going to succeed. And as far as their security, they actually have an algorithm that takes care of their proof of work for them, which I think is pretty cool. The algorithm X11, it's considered one of the most refined algorithms, at least from people you talk to through Dash, one of the most refined algorithms out there for a proof of work system. So they have essentially two processes that they use, like a two-tier authentication system. So they have nodes that take care of the proof of work automatically and are able to both mine the coins into circulation and verify the blocks. But then they also have master nodes, which are essentially servers that are backed up with collateral of Dash coins. So I think that's really interesting, and I think that they definitely have it in mind that they didn't want to do the proof of work system that Bitcoin did, or the proof of work system that Litecoin did even. They're trying to do something a little bit different, and they really believe this algorithm, they have it down, this X11 algorithm. So that's going to be an interesting thing to keep an eye on and to see if the scalability is able to keep up, even with it being automated. But I do think so far it has kept up, and I do think this is a pretty interesting project. I definitely think this is worth a look. And I myself have a couple Dash coins just from back in the day, but I'm going to keep adding. I mean, I think it is something that you will see it rise in value just because of, like I said, the fixed amount, the scalability seems pretty sound, the security seems pretty sound, and those are such important qualities in a open source blockchain like this, and like Bitcoin and like Litecoin. So whether it's going to be able to compete with the big dogs, I really think we're just going to have to wait and see. And I know I say that a lot, and it frustrates people in these videos that I say that a lot, but it's the truth, because Bitcoin didn't, when Bitcoin first started, when you saw the volatility go up and down and people didn't know what the heck was going on, now we kind of have that in the back of our minds, and we know that volatility is okay. We know that it's actually a sign of a healthy project. We just have a little more information, so we can see kind of the trajectories of these projects and whether or not they're going to succeed. So I like Dash a lot, and I think it's got a great future. But again, you have to keep track of the things like whether it can actually scale, because it says it can, and it says this algorithm is just absolute magic. But these comments are coming from people within the project. So I think that's just so important to keep in mind, that you got to take it with a grain of salt, because these people are obviously going to say whatever they need to convince you to buy in. And that doesn't mean that it doesn't work. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that you have to kind of factor in, okay, why are they saying this? Like there's got to be a reason behind why they're saying this. But overall, I think Dash is a great project. Definitely check it out. Trading somewhere between $75 and $80 the last couple of weeks, but obviously crypto, it's going to go up and down, so that could change very quickly. But I do see, I mean, if you're into Zcash and you're into Bitcoin and Litecoin, I have no reason to think that you couldn't add Dash to that list. It is a very great example of a store of value, and a very great example of what Satoshi Nakamoto, a lot of what his principles were saying at first. It has accomplished a lot of that. And I think that people have a bad taste in their mouth from the whole dark coin era, but you have to look at it and what it's accomplished over the past 4 or 5 years, because it's been around and it's kind of proven itself to be, long withstanding, which is what we look for in crypto projects. So I like Dash. I think it's worth looking into. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. That's important to keep in mind. I'm just trying to kind of provide information so it can be a base for your research, kind of a base to jump off of for your own research. But this is a project that you just have to look at all the characteristics. And security looks good. Scalability looks good. Transaction time looks good. So if all of those main kind of pillars of what we're looking for in an open source blockchain, if all of those are working out well, it's a pretty good chance that it's a pretty sound project. Now, I know I can hear people saying already, it doesn't mean that the project's going to succeed even if it's a great piece of technology, which is unfortunate. But we see inferior technologies win out all the time. There was actually something called beta at the same time that VHS came out. I know it's looking way back. But a lot of people think beta was actually a better technology over VHS. But VHS won out, better marketing, quicker to market, all of those factors. So even if Dash is the best blockchain, open source blockchain in the world, it doesn't guarantee success. So that's important to keep in mind as well. But overall, guys, I think this is a project to keep in mind, a project to look forward to seeing in the future. And I think it's great. And I would definitely at least encourage looking into it and doing your own research about it. That's going to be it for the video today, guys. If you have any other comments, questions, concerns, definitely that comment section below is all for you. If there's anything that you want to say to me directly, I absolutely love engaging in those conversations. So definitely don't hold anything back. I just really want to hear your honest opinions of these videos and also of my opinions on these projects. So definitely leave anything below in that comment section. If you don't mind subscribing to the channel, that greatly helps me out with just overall exposure on YouTube through the YouTube algorithm. The like button helps as well, any of those things. So please do that if you have a chance. If you enjoyed the content, I would really, really appreciate it. And we will see you soon with another video. Thanks, guys.